Week 19 of the fantasy basketball season, with playoffs approaching soon in a couple weeks here. Here's a few guards I looked at off the wire this week. The first guard, Duncan Robinson of the Miami Heat. So Duncan Robinson definitely been a bounce-back season for him compared to last year to this season. On the year, 13.3 points a game, 2.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2.8 threes, and 45% from the field. So Robinson, we know his specialties, three-point shooting and scoring the basketball at that rate, but pretty much not rebounding or assisting the basketball. He's not going to give fantasy owners much, but he's got a decent field goal percentage as well. So pretty much a straight catch and shoot shooter is Duncan Robinson. You never really see him drive to the hoop, and that's just his game. So if you need three-point shooting, that's what he's going to bring fantasy owners, and he's playing major minutes for this Miami Heat team, anywhere from 35-40 minutes per game. February 27th at Portland, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 4 threes, 62% from the field. February 29th at Denver, 12 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 threes, 55% from the field. And March 2nd versus the Jazz, 12 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, a steal, a block, 2 threes, 38%. So the last few games, again, some other categories at least, here's Duncan Robinson. So, but right now, like I said, majority of the time it's going to be some scoring and three-pointers made. He's going to give fantasy owners with a decent field goal percentage. So right now, while he's available in 61% of fantasy leagues and he's getting good playing time, he's definitely a guard to hit off the wire this week. Next guard's Terrence Mann, the Los Angeles Clippers. So Terrence Mann, he's starting to get some minutes once again for this Clipper team. We know this Clipper team's loaded, but now with Russell Westbrook out indefinitely with his injury here, Terrence Mann's going to come off the bench and be one of their main guys on this Clipper roster. On the season, 8.1 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 48% from the field. But the last couple weeks, since the playing time's gone up, he's playing great ball for this Clipper team here, man. 13.2 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1.2 threes, and 64% from the field. So we've seen flashes from Mann in his NBA career where he's had some big games off the bench, scoring 25, 30 points. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and do all that, but now, like I said, with Westbrook out indefinitely, the playing time should go up here for Mann. And scoring the basketball and rebounding pretty much is his specialty as well. February 28th versus the Lakers, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 77% from the field. March 1st versus the Wizards, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 85% from the field. And March 3rd at the Timberwolves, I know only 6 points, 4 rebounds, and assist, and 66% from the field. But right now, the playing time, anywhere from 20, 30 minutes per game, Man's going to give fantasy owners. A guy could score the basketball, and we've seen flashes from him in the past. And playing with talented guys like James Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, even though I know he's not on the floor with them at all times, he's going to get opportunities in one-on-one coverage or even open coverage. So right now, since he's out there in 82% of fantasy leagues, he's definitely there this week. Next guard's Jeremy Sochan of the San Antonio Spurs. So Sochan available in 55% of fantasy leagues, and he's been up and down this season percentage-wise. This week he was over 50%, and then a lot of people soured on him and dropped him off to the wire. So on the year, 11.3 points a game, 6.1 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 44% from the field here for Sochan. So Sochan, we know he's played some point this season for the Spurs team, but came into the league as a forward, but he could do a little bit of everything, is Sochan, and a guy who could stuff the stat sheet at times as well. I know the Spurs team, they're a young team, and these games they've been getting blown out, but the last 2 games they've actually gone out there and beat good teams. They beat the Thunder were first in the Western Conference, and then they beat the Pacers. So right now they're starting to get things going a little bit. I know they're not going to make the playoffs, but when you got Wembanyama, who's playing great ball, a guy like Jeremy Sochan, who's a decent ball player, and Vassell, that's a decent nucleus to build around, and they'll get another good draft pick this season. So the last few games here for Sochan, February 27th at the T-Wolves, it was a horrible game, no doubt about it. Just an assist, no other stats, and 0% from the field. They lost in that one. February 29th versus the Thunder, 21 points, 10 boards, 3 threes, 57% from the field. And March 3rd versus the Pacers in that ball game, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, 75% from the field. So like I said, Sochan, there's going to be good games for him, and games like we saw versus the Timberwolves a few games ago where he's not going to show up and do much, but I still think he's a decent option for fantasy owners. A guy could go out there, score the basketball, rebound, and he's a versatile player, no doubt about it, getting major minutes. So I would give him an ad this week. Next ad, Moses Moody of the Golden State Warriors. Moses Moody, he's out there in tons of fantasy leagues right now, at 88%. His playing time's gone up over the last few weeks here for this Golden State Warrior team is Moody. So on the season, 8.2 points a game, 3 rebounds, 1.1 threes, and 46% from the field here. So this Warrior team is starting to get going. I know they got blown out in yesterday's ball game versus the Boston Celtics, but besides that, they've been on a tear. They're finding key pieces and who's going to be in and out of this lineup. And Moses Moody has definitely earned more minutes over the last couple weeks here for this Golden State Warrior team, where, like I said, they've been playing good basketball besides yesterday's ball game, winning 6 out of 8 ball games. So the last few games here for Moody: February 29th at the Knicks, and I won 8 points, 4 boards, an assist, a steal, a block, 33% from the field. March 1st at the Raptors, 17 points, 5 boards, an assist, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 3 threes, 53% from the field. And March 3rd at the Celtics in a ball game where it was just, they got destroyed, down 44 points at halftime, in the final score in that one, they lost by 52, 11 points, 4 boards, at 3 and 55% from the field. So Moody getting opportunities, rebounding the basketball pretty well. He could steal as well, pretty decent. And he could hit that 3-ball 1.5 per game. So right now, if you need a guy who could give you a few categories, and he's playing about 20-25 minutes a game for this Warrior team, I think he's a pretty decent ad this week. In the 5th and final guard I looked at off the wire this week here is Andrew Nembhard of the Indiana Pacers. And Nembhard, he's been on this list a decent amount of times this season. Right now, he's available in 84% of fantasy leagues. And if you need scoring, that's what he's going to bring fantasy owners. And assist is his main categories. On the year, 9.1 points a game, 1.9 rebounds, 4.3 assists, a steal, 48% from the field. But the last couple weeks here, 9.8 points a game, 2.7 boards, 2.3 assists, 1.7 steals, 1.2 threes, and 46% from the field. So right now, a little bit of everything he could give fantasy owners. I know he's more of a deeper league ad, 12-team leagues are deeper for the most part, but he's playing major minutes, 25-30 minutes a game as well for this Pacer team. February 28th versus the Pelicans, 8 points, 4 boards, an assist, a steal, 2 threes, 42% from the field. March 1st at the Pelicans, 10 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 threes, 33% from the field. And March 3rd at the Spurs, 7 points, 3 boards, an assist, 3 steals, a 3, 42% from the field. So right now, I know some games he's not doing that much, is Nembhard, but like I said, for deeper leagues and someone who's getting an opportunity on a good ball club here, he's definitely worth an ad for me this week. So that's a few guards I looked at off the waiver wire with the playoffs approaching in a couple weeks here for week 19 of the fantasy basketball season.